Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Drew back again with another video for all you American soccer fans out there. And in this one, we got to talk about the final 22-man roster announced by Gregg Berhalter for the USA's national team's game on February 1st against Costa Rica. And I, for the first time, am super excited to see these group of players play for the national team. So without further ado, let's get to it. So like always on this channel, I'm going to break down every position here and all the players called up and what I think about these certain players called up for that certain position and what I think we can expect from those players in these upcoming games, or in this case, in the upcoming game against Costa Rica. So we'll go from the back to the front, starting with goalkeepers and work our way forward to the forwards. So let's start right now with the goalkeepers. Those being Sean Johnson from New York City FC, Bill Hamid from DC United, and Matt Turner from New England. Matt Turner getting his, what I believe is his first call up to the national senior side, but he definitely has not made a senior appearance for the USA. So it'll be good to see him play. If it's just one game against Costa Rica, I don't see him playing over Bill Hamid, because Bill Hamid in the goalkeeper section is my most anticipated watch. I'm very excited to see how Bill Hamid does under Gregg Berhalter. I believe he hasn't made an appearance under Gregg Berhalter, but I could be wrong. And if I am, please let me know if he's been called up to other rosters by Gregg Berhalter. But I really just can't recall that. Bill Hamid right now is, I believe, 28 years old, and he's only got 6 national team caps for the USA. And some people might think, well, what the? He's one of the best goalkeepers in the MLS. Yeah, that's true. But like I made a video on him before in when we talked about the goalkeeper problem we have for the national team. And I said in that video that Bill Hamid has a certain attitude about him, a certain way he carries himself, thinking he's the best goalkeeper in the USA ever after Tim Howard. And, I'm not going to say he's wrong, but he's not right. He's really good, but I think him and Zach Steffen would be the perfect partnership, perfect goalkeeper partnership to have for the USA going forward. Zach Steffen, obviously, to me, is the best goalkeeper we have right now and should be the starter. But I really do believe that if Zach Steffen's injured or Zach Steffen, is not performing well, then Bill Hamid has to be the second one to take that spot. Like, he's the Brad Guzan to Zach Steffen's Tim Howard, okay? It's like the new generation almost. But that's what I think. I really have always vouched for Bill Hamid. I think he's going to do well. At least I hope he does well against Costa Rica. But we'll see. He's not good with his feet in terms of playing from the back, which is what Gregg Berhalter likes to do. But, sometimes you just gotta be fucking old school and just save a shot and then kick it the fuck out of there. That's what I think Bill Hamid is best at. So, really excited. Over to the 8 defenders we've got now. It's a lot. We got Julian Arrau from LA Galaxy, Reggie Cannon from FC Dallas, Chase Gasser from Minnesota United, Justin Glad from Real Salt Lake, Aaron Long, Mark McKenzie from Philadelphia Boy, Sam Vines from Colorado, and of course Walker Zimmerman from LAFC. Obviously, you can see here that lots of, a handful of these players here called up to the defenders have not made a single senior appearance for the national team or have even gotten a call-up from the national team. That's insane. And quick fact, this is a 22-man roster squad here, and literally half of these players, 11 players here, have not made a single appearance for the senior side of the national team. That's insane. And I think that is, in a way, some progress for USA. We're trusting our youth, which is what a lot of us fans are screaming for. Like, we've got lots of good youth players coming up through the ranks, and right now this is a good opportunity to show us to see how good they can be with the national team. So going back to the defenders here, obviously Aaron Long is like probably the most experienced and probably the best center back here right now. But we have some good hidden gems here. Like, I believe Julian Arrau has been had done well with LA Galaxy over this last season, and I think he's going to be a pretty good right back. Of course, right alongside Reggie Cannon, who I think is better or could be way better than DeAndre Yedlin. He's from FC Dallas, of course. Dallas always producing freaking killer youth talent. I don't know too much about Chase Gasser from Minnesota. I know he's young. I think he's a left back. Justin Glad, another center back from Real Salt Lake, which I think he did pretty good in the youth tournaments with the youth sides of the national team. But for the senior side, he has not made an appearance, and I'm excited to see how he does, how he fits in well alongside possibly Walker Zimmerman or Aaron Long. But what I really hope we don't see is Aaron Long and Walker Zimmerman playing the whole 90 minutes against Costa Rica. I would like to see at least one uncapped player alongside either Aaron Long or Walker Zimmerman primarily alongside Aaron Long, who I think is a better defender between the two, Long and Zimmerman. But what I would like to see, this is my and I'll make another video when the game comes closer as my dream lineup of the game that of the dream lineup against Costa Rica. But for right now, I would like to see Mark McKenzie alongside Aaron Long. I think that would be a really good partnership at the back, and maybe it's just my Philadelphia Union bias, but I think Mark McKenzie is an exceptional center back. That's it. Heading up to the midfield of this roster, we've got Brendan Aronson from Philadelphia Union Boys. We've got Christian Kappus from Hobro, Denmark. We've got Brian Kayao, who is an unattached player. We've got Sebastian Lletget from LA Galaxy, Brandon Servania from FC Dallas, and of course Jackson Newell from San Jose Earthquakes. Right off the back, what I think about, or what really sticks out to me, is players like Brian Kayao, who is an unattached player who, at least personally for me, I don't really know much about. But if there's something about this kid that really makes Gregg Berhalter be like, I'm going to call this guy up who doesn't really have a senior club, call him up to the national team and see how he does. That is exciting for me, because last time we had a player who was called up from like a non-league team was, I think, Jordan Morris, and he scored his debut goal against Mexico, which was fucking awesome. So maybe we'll see the same thing with Brian Kayao. Maybe he's like a little hidden gem that maybe many of us U.S. soccer fans don't know too much about. At least I do. If you guys do, of course, let me know down below. Jackson Newell, I think, is a pretty decent center defensive midfielder from San Jose. I think he'll fit in well in the midfield here for the national team. But if you look at the national team midfield right now here, you don't really see many players who are, capped a lot. The most capped player here is Sebastian Lletget with 13, which is really not a lot at all. So everyone here is really fresh and really new, and that's really exciting because we get to see a whole different flow of midfield, controlling the game for the national team. That's going to be really exciting to see. Lots of young players are going to be playing in this midfield, and that's exciting, but could be scary in a way. I hope that I hope they do well. God help us. Finally, at the top with the forwards, which is everyone's favorite section, it seems like, we've got Paul Arriola from DC United. We got Jesus Ferreira from FC Dallas, Jonathan Lewis from Colorado, Ulysses Yanez from Wolfsburg, and Yazi Zardes. Okay, clearly no one's too excited to see Zardes here on the list, but also no one's really too surprised to see Zardes on this roster here, because what first of all, if you guys would think Zardes was gonna miss out on any game on the Berhalter, you're on crack. I'm telling you right now. Paul Arriola, I think he's a pretty decent player, decent winger at least for DC and for the national team. Nothing really stands out too much for me. But when I look at this forward section, what really sticks out besides Zardes as his freaking poisonous presence there, what sticks out the most to me is two young players. That, of course, being Jesus Ferreira from Dallas and Ulysses Yanez from Wolfsburg. Two players, I think, who have had tremendous seasons with their youth sides or with their club senior side. And, of course, Ferreira did really well last year against FC Dallas. It was like a breakout season for him alongside Paxton Pomykal, who unfortunately missed out on this roster. I think only because he had an injury to recover from that he wasn't really fully recovered from. And, of course, Ulysses Yanez is Twitter's favorite USA player, at least USA Twitter's favorite player, because this guy seems to have lots of potential, lots of hype about him, and I can guarantee he's going to make at least a little appearance here against Costa Rica. I can totally see Zardes starting up front as the main striker because he is the technically most experienced senior player here, and then hopefully he's replaced at halftime by either Jesus Ferreira if he plays as a striker or Yanez at the second half of the game. I think that would be a tremendous achievement for Yanez and Ferreira, and also be a tremendous way to see how these players will do on the senior side. Of course, Ferreira just became a U.S. citizen a couple weeks ago or a month ago, and now he's eligible to play for the USA, and that's really exciting. He was a really good player, and I hope he continues that good run of form to the national team. So I'm very excited. If you guys are wondering about players like Christian Roldan and Jordan Morris, who have been also called up, at least to the 26-man roster, they got cut because they have to go back to Seattle Sounders to play in the CONCACAF Champions League campaign, which is starting pretty soon. And I think that is going to be very exciting to see. And that's a good call on them to head back to their club to help them out and help them get ready for their big tournament coming up. And if you guys can best believe, I'm going to be covering that on this channel. So if you guys are not subscribed yet, definitely subscribe down below. Hit the like button as well, because that really helps out the channel here. And if you help out the channel, you help out the sport. Think about it. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys today on this roster. Let me know down below what you guys think about the players called up here by Berhalter. Are you guys like me, feeling like me, and excited to see these youth players here hopefully getting a chance to perform and play their game on the senior level? Let me know down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for kicking with me, and I'll see you next time. Peace.